On this episode, I'll tell you why the Cowboys not winning a playoff game since '96 is bunko in regards to this game against the Eagles, why the Eagles not losing a playoff game in the first round is bunko as well in relation to this game, and I'll tell you an interesting fact in Cowboys-Eagles rivalry history as well. We'll also look at the video of David Spadaro, that Cilantro who spit on the star, all right here on Cowboys Imperial Report. The video may be long, but when it comes to Cowboys news and opinion, trust me, this show is pretty strong. My fellow Cowboys fans, I'm Marcus Aurelius Maximus, the Emperor. Thank you for joining me on Cowboys Imperial Report. The family's not with us today because the family fell overboard last week. Show it to them so they get caught up here. First, the only is from Homegrown. Whoops. There went the family. Yeah, so, you know, that's what happened to the family. Oh, I gotta tell you something else. On my way back to Claremore, obviously I'm back in the studio here, I got a call today from one of our old sponsors, one of our family man type sponsors, if you know what I mean. And if the Cowboys win, then that sponsor will sponsor our post-game show from now on. Because, you know, this sponsor believes that the Dallas Cowboys, you know, it's time to respect the Blue Star again. So, we can only hope that the Cowboys gain the inevitable triumph. And I think they will gain the inevitable triumph and win that first playoff game since 1996. Oh, I love this here, the media saying, oh, the Dallas Cowboys haven't won a playoff game since 1996. Ooh, and the Philadelphia Eagles have not lost in the first round ever since Andy Reid took over. Ooh, here's the thing they don't tell you about that. The last time, the only time, the Philadelphia Eagles ever played on the road in the first round was last year when they went up to Minnesota in a dome and played Tavares Jackson. In the Minnesota Vikings, Tavares Jackson. Oh, I love this here, Tavares Jackson. Yeah. Yeah, sure. You believe that? No, that would be... Every other time they've been at home. And in their first 2 years, they beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a team that had only won 2 playoff games over the course of 20 years. You believe that? You believe that? Utterly unbelievable. So, you know, you have to take the facts, and then you have to delve deeper. And once you delve deeper into some of the media's facts that they're throwing out about this game, you realize some of it's bunko. But here's the fact they don't talk about. It's interesting that the Dallas Cowboys are a team that, you know, hasn't won a playoff game since 1996, even though none of the players on this roster were on the roster back in 1996. That doesn't matter. Got to push forth a big lie. Dallas Cowboys suck. Dallas Cowboys haven't won a playoff game since 1996, even though they lead the league in playoff wins. They haven't won a playoff game since 1996. Yeah, they hypnotized schmuck out there, that kind of thing. Beep, bop, boop. It's the taking a pill, 1, 2, 3. So, even though the Dallas Cowboys players have not been on that team since 1996, they get accused of the playoff losses nonetheless. Funny how they don't mention that the Dallas Cowboys have never lost a playoff game in the first round against the filthy, dumpy Eagles. That's right! Go back to 1992. Go back to 1995. In the divisional round, because the Dallas Cowboys were able to gain the first round byes in those years, they played the Philadelphia Eagles in their first round game, in the Cowboys' first round game, and they beat the Eagles. So you want to bring up that in relation to the no playoff win since 1996? You might as well. You might as well, because to me it's non sequitur that you should blame these Dallas Cowboys for no playoff win since 1996. Okay, you know. Now, when it comes to the fact that the Eagles have not won that they have always won in the first round or whatever under Andy Reid, you also have to go back to last year and realize that some of the players on that team and some of the coaches are no longer with this team. Jim Johnson, God rest his soul, is not calling that defense. Brian Dawkins is no longer back there. John Runyon is no longer on that O-line. You have some players from that 08 team that have been through everything in the golden years of the Eagles that are no longer with the Philadelphia Eagles. Sure, Donovan McNabb is there, Andy Reid's there, David Akers is there, Jeremiah Trotter is there, but I don't think that the core of the Philadelphia Eagles is comparable to the core from 5 years ago. I don't think it's there. Furthermore, the outer layers of the Philadelphia Eagles over the 10 years have certainly overturned so much that they're no longer recognizable. The Philadelphia Eagles are not going to win this Saturday. I don't see it happening. But, you know, it could happen. So, especially when you have injuries like we have. You hear this with DeMarcus Ware sitting out of practice because of the sore back. Wade Phillips says he'll play Saturday, but he sat out of practice nonetheless to rest his sore back. Marion Barber had limited participation in practice because of a sore knee. Well, okay. Then you have Tayshard Choice with the whole concussion thing. He says he's good to go, whether or not we give him the ball in any formation outside of the Wildcat. We'll wait here and tell you. Mark Colombo will start over Doug Free in this contest. He had full participation in practice, Mark Colombo did. And it's interesting because according to this article by Jan Hubbard out of the Star-Telegram, it seems as though Doug Free is going to come in and spell Colombo. That's what I read between the lines here. So that I've never heard any such thing like that. That'll be interesting to see. Hopefully we don't have any discontinuity along the offensive line. Otherwise, that could be very bad. That's how we lost the divisional game. Was we had Garrod was injured. And we came into that game a little limping. Well, even though we had the bye, we came into it a little limping into that game, and then we got beat up, and certainly we limped out. And then all the fans needed a wheelchair, to carry them out with their broken hearts. So, things are the way they are. And like I said, there is a chance that the Cowboys could lose. And should that happen, I'm teaming up with Cowboy Bill to give my loyalty to the Philadelphia Eagles for the remainder of the playoffs should they beat us. What does that mean? That means I'll wear this hat and do my show and call it Cowboys Imperial Report and tell you why the Eagles will win. That kind of thing. But I don't think it's going to happen because karma is a termagant, okay? And Saturday night, she's going to be on her period. Why do I say this, you ask? This is why I say it. Roll the tape.
I'm standing in the middle of Cowboys Stadium on the Star. It's a very impressive stadium. Massive. You've seen it on TV. It's amazing. I will say that. Once you get down on the field, it's football. And nobody's looking as I'm standing on the Star. There you go, fellas. Spit on that Star. I could do more. You know what? Dallas kind of deserves a second one. Nobody looks. There you go.
You rotten, stinking Eagles, you. You rotten, stinking, classless bunch of Salinterites. You wonder why you don't have a Super Bowl victory in that town of yours, in that two-meal town of yours? That's why. If a DallasCowboys.com staff writer or worker or whatever did something like that to the Philadelphia Eagles logo at midfield and caught it on tape and bragged about it like some sort of senior in high school punk, if that were to happen, the mediats would be all over this and you would try to get the guy fired. That's what would happen. But it's funny how there's a double standard, a triple standard when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles. My friends, God sees the truth and waits. and he's waiting for Saturday night so he can clip your wings and let his team, America's team, beat you down and give you 10 years worth of retribution that you deserve. From every act that the Andy Reid administration has done to this team, whether fair or unfair, you're going to get 10 years worth of it this Saturday night. And you're going to get it to the tune of 28-14. You're going to get a touchdown in the final seconds, but it's going to be 21-7 pretty much the whole game. McNabb, I hope you got a little sauce to go with those ribs. 28-14, folks. God save the Cowboys, and God bless the CNS.